speedy welcome to the show for everyone. This is Saturdays are for weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. You know already, Saturdays are for weddings. We talk about love, culture, and everything in between that makes the wedding bells ring or stop mid-chime. And I'm your host today, Mary Hangeior, together with...
Yes, good morning. My name is Clement Sampson.
Now, today's focus, something that's been around for generations, that is bride price. Yes, that traditional payment the groom family give to the bride's family before marriage. Some people call it a sign of respect. Others say it's outdated, that love shouldn't come with a price tag. So what do you think? Let's talk about it. Is paying of bride price still necessary, or is it just an old tradition we are still holding on to? Is paying of bride price still necessary, or is it just an old tradition we are still holding on to? You too can call in to be part of this conversation if you reach out to us on 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. Is paying of bride price still necessary, or is it just an old tradition we are still holding on to? All right, so let's be honest, bride price has always been part of our culture. In the old days, it symbolized appreciation, the groom's family thanking the bride's parents for raising a good woman. It wasn't about money, it was about respect. But these days, things have changed. Some lists are so long, you think the man is buying a car, not marrying a wife. People are beginning to ask, have we turned a beautiful tradition into business? But then again, others say no. No matter how modern we become, culture is culture. Even if you don't pay millions, at least something to show respect. Because to some families, skipping bride price feels like skipping blessings. But what do you think? Let's start with you, Clement. Do you think paying of bride price is still necessary in today's world?
See, it's an African tradition, and it's one of those ones that I feel can remain. I don't have any issues with paying of bride price. Now you see, I think well, the thing is, like, I think you were just talking just now. You were talking about how sometimes the list is so long. Right? That's the thing.
Okay.
Now I think there are instances now when there is families just overdoing things, right? Okay, because of changing times. Let me just put it that way. Some families just end up overdoing things. But bride price, I still feel it's important. It should still stay.
No matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. But it just should not be overdone. You understand? It should be regulated so that people don't approach it with their individual taste and apply whatever they like. Do you understand? And scare people, suitors for their daughters away. You understand? But I feel bride price still remains like a vital part of our culture. It should not be discarded.
All right. So if you have just joined us, this is Saturdays are for weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and today we are talking about bride price. Now the question is paying of bride price still necessary, or is it just an old tradition that we are still holding on to? Now you too can call in to be part of this conversation if you reach out to us on 090-3648-5868. that is 090-3648-5868. all right, so Clement, it's your opinion of bride price should still remain. Is it like is it influenced from a cultural angle, or is it your personal opinion you're telling us right now?
No, it's my personal opinion. Like, it's my personal opinion. Yes. You see, I think I have said this one time before, that the culture changes, right, over time. But then you are allowed to borrow from another culture and use. But you only allow. It's best for you to borrow good aspects, right? And you can also discard bad aspects of your own. Do you understand? So I just feel this is not one that is a bad aspect. It can be kept. It's just that it should also be regulated. Talking about custodians of culture, right? Our village elders and all. They need to be the ones who would ensure that it is not overdone, because if you check it out, there are a lot of families who overdo it.
Okay.
Right? There are a lot of families who overdo it. Yeah, so.
All right. So this is completely from your own personal opinion. Like, you feel like it should remain, but then it should be regulated. When you say it should be regulated, is that something like families themselves should do, or is there supposed to be a body that would be, is that not like personal business? Would it be fair to say there'll be a body or something out there that will be regulating how much a person is supposed to pay bride price and all of that?
No matter where you are, right? No matter where you are, you are bound by the culture and traditions of your ethnic group. No matter where you are, right? And no matter where you are, you're still supposed to keep some connections with people back home, right? So this village, let me call them traditional leaders, right, who we have at home, okay, they still give how do I put it, directives, okay? They still give directives that no matter where you are at, it would still apply to you. So you understand? So when these people say bride price should be so and so, bride price should not exceed so and so, right? Like, you don't need to be living in a village, right? You don't need to be back home proper before you apply what these elders have stipulated. Yes, you understand? So that's what I think basically. All right, that's what I think basically. It should be regulated. It should not be left to families alone. No, do you understand? It should not be left to families, because if you leave it to most families, they will overdo it. Do you understand?
All right. So it's Saturdays are for weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and today we are talking about bride price. Is paying of bride price still necessary, or is it just an old tradition we are still holding on to? You too can call in to be part of this conversation if you reach out to us on 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868. All right, so you hear people, like men especially, we say things like, I shouldn't have to buy someone I love. Like, if both of us are in love and we are willing to get married and all of that, is paying of bride price not like going to buy somebody? Because obviously we are not supposed to buy love, right? So this bride price, now to you, is it aside, like, or is it just the same thing as paying for someone just to purchase someone or anything like that? Do you look at it like that, the way some other people or some men will put it? Like, if I'm paying bride price, it's more like I am buying a wife. Do you get what I'm saying, though?
I think I've heard that thing before. To me, it doesn't apply, because see, there are different cultures across the country right now that they've made it such that you don't even pay any bride price with money, right? You are just the bride price is rather gifts you bring.
Okay.
You know, that's when you bring commodities, like you buy a number of livestock, like let's say 2 goats, right? Then you buy some soft drinks and some alcoholic beverages as well too, and then that's just a number of things, right? And you bring to the bride's family, and then maybe you just add it with, because some people would even say don't even bring anything like exorbitant, just bring something like 10,000 and give. I mean, these are gifts now, right? These are gifts. I mean,
yes.
It's not like you're paying. The point I'm trying to make here is, you are bringing gifts.
It's not like you're
coming
buying.
to make a payment.
But have you heard some men these days just make statements like, I paid money on your head and stuff like that? Okay, let's take this call. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Nafian. I'm calling from Makodi.
Okay, so is paying of bride price still necessary, or is it more like an old tradition we are still holding on to?
I think it's an old tradition that we're still holding on to. I don't feel like it's necessary to pay for anybody at this point in time.
So would you marry somebody that doesn't pay your, who would not pay your bride price?
Yes. We'll be equals in the marriage. That's my opinion. So.
Okay, thank you very much for calling in to share that. We had someone that said it's not necessary, and she said something that actually, should I say, clicked small. She said, I will be equal in the marriage. So when some ladies will say, I don't want anybody to pay my bride price, and then come and be telling me, are you paid for me, and kind of caging me, is that really what they mean? Like, okay, so let's be equal in the marriage. I don't know. It will be the ladies who will call in and share that part of it. And
now let me ask you now, how, let me just ask you now this question now. Would you, like, how do you see this bride price, and would you permit somebody to come for your hand in marriage, and and the person doesn't bring any gifts to your parents, doesn't do nothing, like he just comes, you guys explain yourselves, and then wow, that's it?
Well, if you are asking for me, like me personally, if someone should come, I view it as the bride price should just be there. I don't know, it's because of, I think mine is influenced by the fact that I've grown up to see this happening. It's more like it's a normal thing that happens, and then where it doesn't happen, it's off for me. So the way I view it it's like it should just be there, like that part of bride price. It shouldn't be anything like, okay, I'm buying you or anything like that. And me, before I used to have this opinion of, I'll keep the amount of bride price that someone pays in my account. So as soon as I'm uncomfortable, I'll just give the person the money and go. I used to have that opinion. Like,
no, I don't get it. Like
when a man pays for my bride price, so personally, I would work and then gather that amount of money that he paid to my parents and just have it in my account. So as soon as it doesn't go my way, or like I'm not okay with the marriage, I'll just give him and go. Because we watch movies and we see a lot of people say, I paid money on your head, I did this and that. So it was more like, let someone not go and use this one and cage me. Although now it's more like my perspective changed, because it has to do with the kind of man you get married to, and then all of that, who will come and be saying, okay, I paid for you, I did this, I can do whatever I like, and a whole lot of that. So you too can call in to be part of this conversation if you reach out to us on 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. Is paying of bride price still necessary, or is it just an old tradition we are still holding on to? Would it be fair to say, to agree with the ladies who would say, I don't want to feel like I'm getting caged, or I have been bought and then anyone can do whatever they like? And also for the men who would say it's about love and it shouldn't be like I'm paying to be with the person I love or to actually marry. So, okay, Clement, has the meaning of bride price changed over time to you?
It has changed now, isn't it? Nice to see what we like.
Okay, let's take this call. Hello. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Hello.
It's very hard to hear.
Okay, you can try calling us back, because we're finding it difficult to hear you right now. And any other person who is trying to call, it's 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. Hello.
Still happening.
Could you reposition yourself at a spot maybe where your network would be a bit clearer, because we cannot hear you properly?
It's hard to. It was very hard to hear him. So
Yeah, true. Okay.
So just try and do something about it and call us back again.
Okay. So, Clement, I asked you, has the meaning of bride price changed over time?
It has changed now. As far as it has changed.
What was it before?
Look at like instances you and I we raised up. About some men saying, "I paid money on your head." Right. Before it wasn't a matter of whether you paid money on somebody's head. Do you understand? Now, for somebody to say, "I paid money on your head," it's because the person has the mindset that he bought the bride. But ideally, okay, paying of bride price doesn't mean you're buying somebody's wife, somebody's daughter. Well, it's a gesture of goodwill, by the way.
Respect.
Respect and a show of your level of responsibility. Do you understand?
Okay.
So that's what paying of bride price ideally is. Okay, so I mean, you just can't come and carry somebody's daughter and then you take. Now, okay, see, do you know that there are situations that the mindset gets flipped over? Now, we've seen plenty times when some ladies stubbornly went to, right? They stubbornly went to one guy who did not do anything on their heads, right? And because she went with this guy who didn't do anything on her head formally, right? And he went, and that in itself reinforced the idea in the guy's head that she is cheap. Like her family did not even value her. That's why they even allowed her to even follow him, right? But deep down within the family's mind, they would not have allowed her to go, right? But she just did strong head and said, "Oh, it was love. I put love over commercializing me," because she feels like it's her being commercialized, right? So it's not you being commercialized. It's rather a thing about your family and even culture also. Building that ring of protection around you, building that sense of self-worth in you, that you are worth something. You're not just meant to just go into somebody's house and start procreating and then start doing chores at home, right? Your value is being placed on you.
Okay.
So if you talk about, well, there shouldn't be any bride price on my head, you are risking watering down your own value.
Okay.
Do you understand the problem we're having?
But what of someone who is saying my value is priceless? Even if you wanted to pay all the money in the world, you would actually not be able to pay for me. So that one is just like formality, because I've actually heard some ladies say that. That's if you're saying it's kind of like demeaning your value and all of that. Is there any human being self that the person's value can be compared with money or anything like that?
No human being has if we want to be very idealistic, right? We're not being realistic at this point, right? We can say there's no price tag to any human being.
Okay.
But see, leave the individual human being to himself. He has a price tag.
Okay.
Yes, there's something he will do. There's something that for that thing he would stoop to a level.
Okay, let's take this call. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Okay, so tell us, what do you think? Is bride price still necessary, or is it just an old tradition we are still holding on to?
Yes, that's why it's necessary.
Okay.
For my own understanding, it's necessary. So, like those guys if they do not pay a bride price, those ones that you just go and meet somebody and they do not have respect. Those people that they go and meet, they do not have respect for them. But if someone don't pay your bride price and your family stop touching on your head, enjoy, your family is very happy that they will even pay for you.
Okay.
That you need to go. They'll be showing you example that this daughter, this man speaking has do a very good thing. You just stand up and meet the person, and the person is not even.
All right. Yes.
Then because for me, I say bride price is good.
All right. Thank you very much for calling in and trying to share that. It was kind of hard to hear him, but I think what he said is it's very necessary in order to keep that respect there. Like even your bride's family, we see you in that light of okay. You know how it is now. You know how it is with our African cultures, and that one will kind of keep the respect in the face of your bride's family as well. So you too can call in to be part of this conversation if you reach out to us on 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868. Is paying of bride price still necessary, or is it just an old tradition we are still holding on to? All right, so Clement, would you have an opinion? Okay, the bride price part cannot just be removed. So if you were to marry a lady who viewed it differently, like someone who says, or she doesn't want to collect, or her family to collect bride price for her, like just to on her own head like that, would you go ahead to marry that person? Like, who would refuse to take bride price from you? Or is it something set, like you're so strict on it that if someone doesn't take bride price from you, it's more like that marriage is not complete, or that whole thing is not complete?
There has to be a way around it. There has to be a way around it.
And what is that way, please?
We will find out when that time comes. But for me, let me be very, I would be uncomfortable if I hear that kind of statements from a lady. That sounds to me like she wants to alienate me from her family, like put like separate me from the family. Do you understand? Because see, I'm still saying this again, bride price is not about the lady being sold out. She's not a slave, right?
Exactly.
She's not a commodity that is being sold out. Rather, it's even a means of bonding with the bride's family. Do you understand? It affords everybody the chance to meet, right? Bringing of bride price is goodwill. Do you understand? It's goodwill. So if as far as I'm concerned, if I don't take part in that, if I don't put out that goodwill, if I don't demonstrate that goodwill, I mean, I wouldn't feel fulfilled in life or in that marriage, because I'd feel like I bypassed her family. So it's not one thing that somebody would just come and say, me, I don't want it to. Don't go and do it on my head. See, I will try to convince, right?
Okay.
I will try to convince that person to have a change of mindset there. See, let's not be, I understand, right? See, there's a whole lot we see, and we see in Western culture, and we say, life is so simple. Yes, see, life is so simple there. Yes.
Okay.
We can also make life quite simple here, and some cultures are not even making it simple in terms of paying of bride price, right? There are some cultures, I will not be specific though, who have said I should not exceed 50,000. Let nobody pay anything exceeding 50,000 or reaching 50,000 on a lady's head. Okay, and some people even go as far as just making it a very symbolic thing. Just give us 10,000. And they'll specifically tell you we're not saying that's the price of our daughter, right? But regardless, we were supposed to collect something, right? But then where the problem lies is where we start thinking of, now these people that would collect little stuff, a lot of them would finish up by telling you that we don't need the money. All we need of you is just take very good care of our daughter, right? Now, there are this set of people who would rather collect heaven and earth on the daughters, because they would say, no, this one, we don't train this one since now we born this one. When they put her for school up and down, now time to collect now. Do you understand?
Yes.
The
people that take it as strictly business, like
strictly business.
If you have let's say 12 daughters, you're already calculating, okay, by the time I collect this one collect this one and all of that, it should be enough to do this. I've heard people say things like that. So like people even make jokes to women who have like a lot of daughters and say this one now, as you're giving birth to these daughters, you're saying you want more boys, but then when you start giving them out for marriage, that's when you will enjoy the whole bride price. And I'm like, so is that the point of this all? Oh, okay.
So when that kind of situation starts to arise, that is when people begin to run the risk of somebody looking at the daughter by the time he had finally married her, right, taking her home, starts looking at her as a commodity that he bought because he paid money. Do you know, he paid a huge sum of money.
Okay.
So, but then I mean, when it's this way, whereby it's just gifts, the person brings gifts and then he just drops one symbolic amount of money. The person understands that the family accepts, the bride's family accepts him, right? And they accept him to the extent that they don't even want to overburden him, right? They just rather gave him a charge. Take care of our daughter. We appreciate the gifts you've brought. Just you take charge of your daughter. Now, as far as I am concerned, this one would reinforce a mindset that that's a loving family that this girl is from. So I should not disappoint this family. You had the opportunity to meet the family, to offer them what you have, so you could collect their daughter in goodwill, right, with good understanding.
Yes.
Right. So it rather reinforces connection there, reinforces bond.
Okay.
It's a whole different thing from somebody who just goes and impregnates somebody's daughter and she gladly goes with him and then she says, it is love we are operating on. We are not doing any bride price here. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because we've seen this happen plenty times. So the lady just saying, I'm in love with him. Use your head. Don't go, this one, I'm in love with him. You have to be very practical.
Okay.
Check life. I mean, yeah.
Okay, so you too can call in to be part of this conversation. If you reach out to us on 090-3648-5868. That's 090-3648-5868. And we are asking, is paying of bride price still necessary, or is it just an old tradition that we are still holding on to? Does it seem to you like it's just buying a woman off like it's property, or is it something that cannot even be touched and no one should even actually say something like that about it? What do you think? You can call in and share that with us, and that is on 090-3648-5868. Okay, so Clement, I noticed you mentioned a specific amount. So how much is too much when it comes to bride price for you? You're not applying it to culture or tradition or anything. How much is too much for a bride price?
You see, when I start paying anywhere around or anywhere above 50k, that becomes too much.
Okay.
But that becomes too much for me. Well, I'm just let me just leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
so what's the most ridiculous bride price amount that you've heard? Like someone say a specific culture. You don't have to mention the culture, just a ridiculous bride price amount that you've heard from a specific culture.
Well, I've read that some families have even asked for as little as 50 naira. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So at that point, what's the use of collecting it?
It's just symbolical, right?
Okay. It could have been
because
something else.
We're now living in a time when we have money. We have currency. This note that we have money. We have. But how I see it for such families is they are saying the welfare of our daughter is what counts to us. If we want to say let's collect money on this child's head, if we want to be like some other families, you cannot pay. That's like when I said ideally if we want to check the price of a human being, ideally, a human being is priceless. You cannot really pay money to buy a human being.
Okay.
Right? But that's not the reality, actually. So such families now, their mindset is that this girl, you cannot even pay for her if we say pay for her. So all we just need is you demonstrating that you are capable of keeping this girl safe. You are capable.
Okay,
of
now
taking
that's
care of
another
her
point
children.
I did not know I needed to hear. Like that, demonstrating that you are actually capable of taking care of the daughter or anything like that. I think someone has mentioned that before. Like, but it's just that even the person his own has come out too, because he was like, how much you can pay will show how capable you are of actually taking care of our daughter or anything like that. What do you think about that?
No, it doesn't mean, see, some people can borrow and pay a bride price. See, I think now it's even harder now to even I think now it's even harder now to gauge the capability of a groom, right, in taking care of the bride. Before, like, if you've read some of these books written by old authors like Chinua Achebe, right, the likes of Cyprian Ekwensi, right, if you read books written by these guys and some other older authors like that, right, you would see that bride price is not one thing that is done to buy a commodity like a girl from a family. It is rather something that shows that you can take care of her. It's a demonstration of strength, of providing for your family. So you'd be hearing bride price things like delivering a certain number of tubers of yams, right, and yam seedlings as well too. Yes, and they usually come from the man's labor.
Okay.
Yes, as a big time farmer. Yes, so he brings what he has in his barns to demonstrate that he can take care of this girl. Now, even if he happens to be a palm wine tapper, right? Because it's now that palm wine tappers are now looked as common people. But in the traditional African society, pre-colonial times, palm wine tapping is a real profession that people did, and they took care of their families, right? Now you may not be too okay for you to just come and supply palm wine all the way straight through like that, like all the way. That's what you've brought us. Yes, but then with the palm wine tapping you could use some of your supplies to do trade by barter, right, and obtain other things to show that your means of livelihood is one that can even take care of this girl, to even buy other things. Because certainly you will not bring her into your house and all you guys would eat and drink with palm wine.
True.
So you have to demonstrate that your means of livelihood is one that can take care of you and her, and even obtain other things necessary to keep you and her going. Okay, so, well, see, the importance of bride price. Let's just put away all these things. So let's just put away all.
We actually cannot put it away because it's things that happen around us, and it's more like some people don't actually have more.
Admittedly, bride price is, how did you put it? Whether it's an old tradition, right? And whether we or it isn't. Admittedly, it's an old tradition. It is an old tradition.
But you know, there are a lot of old traditions that we actually left behind. So why we are trying to get why this one cannot be left behind, since some people keep complaining and throwing comments like we don't have to buy somebody. Then why not just leave it behind? Why are we still forcing ourselves?
We're not buying people, and we will not, and we should not leave it behind, because there are still people who understand the importance of bride price and they are applying it accordingly. So we will not drop this one because it is being misinterpreted and misapplied by some families who make it a point to to hammer on their daughters' heads.
Okay.
Do you understand? So we will not. Instead, we should be looking of how to revive it back, bring it back to life.
All right.
It's a whole different thing from the killing of twins and saying they are evil. you cannot revise that one. You cannot do a revision of it and say, oh, let us symbolically kill. We will not actually take their lives, right? We will just symbolically act as if we are taking their lives, but they would still live. Do you understand? That one, even if you surround it with symbolism, it still wouldn't make sense. It would be negative.
Okay.
But this is something that it doesn't need to be symbolic. Yes, it can let it be actual.
All right.
It can just be it can be revised. Okay, made to come alive and made to be what it used to be.
Okay, so it's Saturdays are for weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and today we are talking about bride price. Is paying of bride price still necessary, or is it just some old tradition that we are still holding on to? Now, you too can call in to be part of this conversation if you reach out to us on 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868. Okay, go on.
Now let me ask you back in turn now. So assuming you have this, you bring your suitor home, right? And then your parents start saying this is how much. Let's just assume, we're not saying you're a real specific parent. So, let's just assume that you're one lady whose parents are now saying, this one, we've trained this one since nursery school. You don't even finish university. This one will be something where you go on, they pay us 20,000 or 50,000. So in your own case, what would be enough? Like too much? Like they are beginning to overdo this thing now. Do you understand? What would be your own cap?
For me, it's not like I'm that much of a traditional person. No, I'm not that much of a traditional person. But for the things that for the traditions that I don't know how far back they went or some kind of things, I prefer to leave it at that. If my parents know better than me in that aspect, whatever it is they are saying, let them say, okay, I can only suggest, is this thing not too much? Is it not too much like this? And they say, okay, no, this is how it's supposed to be, and it's supposed to be untouched. Okay, it could be that. Hello?
Yes, hello, good morning.
Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Abraham. I'm calling from Jagakumewe.
Okay, so Abraham, is paying of bride price still necessary, or is it just a tradition that we are still holding on to?
It's still very necessary. It's a tradition, but this is one thing we should understand about tradition. Tradition is not just about the African, culture now. It's about the humankind, like humankind in So our generation came late when it has to do with defining things, because that's what tradition does. Tradition is what a thing is, so that another generation can come and take over from that practice and then continue it. So if it's bad, then subsequent generations can begin to work on it to become better. But if it is good, then it remains the way it is. Maybe we can in some way. So let's say there are some things that the human being has defined already. Those who have lived before, and we didn't have that privilege to live when they lived. So maybe if it was our generation, we could have decided that okay, for the rights of marriage, there is nothing like bride price. So the ones then could have done that. But since we were not the ones there, and these guys probably set it in motion, in that for the rights of marriage, there has to be something called the bride price.
All right.
Then we are privileged. So I wanted to we also link it up to the scriptures, because you look at the scriptures now, you discover that Jesus Christ is the bride, or is the bridegroom, but is the bride. So you discover that in order to get his bride, he had to pay the bride price, and the bride price he paid was with his own very life. So he went to that's the highest kind of bride price you can ever think of. You understand? So if we as Christians, if we look at that example, there's no reason why we should struggle with bride price. Paying bride price at the human level. And in fact, I think I'm not in support of the exorbitant rates, despite right. But I also have the idea that should be, decent enough to be considered valuable because it's valuable, it costs good money. You understand? So let's not overcharge like that. But you as a husband, if I'm a woman now and you come for my hand, you give 15 naira, I'm not going to marry you. I'm not going to marry you.
Okay.
Yes. It doesn't mean if you give 100 million, that means I see myself as being just like the co-presenter said, human life is the value is way more than money. You understand? But if I were a woman and you brought 15 naira, 100, 1,000 naira to marry me, I won't marry you because it means I am not valuable enough for you.
Okay. Yes. All right.
To bring some level of commensurate value. So I believe.
All right. Thank you very much for calling in to contribute. We heard him. He had quite a lot to say. And for the most part, he said if he was a woman and someone brought 15 naira to marry, that 15 naira you mentioned, if someone brought 15 naira to marry him, he would not agree. It's not to say he's expecting 100 million or anything like that. But how about 50 naira?
No,
15, I'm not going either. Yes.
Now, what he said there, what he said there makes a lot of sense. Okay, in that it reinforces to us that the paying of bride price it's not the person buying the bride off the family. It's a demonstration of the person's ability. So you can't just come and just say, what I have to pay for this your daughter is 15. I mean, there's no parent that would willingly allow their daughter to go with that kind of person. The parent of the daughter, the parents of the daughter, they are allowed to say, give us 15 naira. Do you understand? But when did he give us 15 naira? Of course, you would have come with other gifts that showed that you could purchase stuff, you could own stuff and take care of this girl. So when they ask of you to just give them 15 naira, just assuming, right? And you gave it to them, doesn't mean they are saying that's how much we value our daughter. No, it doesn't mean. But then there is no parent the other way around who would say, this guy, let us collect this 15 naira that he brought to come, and like he only came with 15 naira. Do you understand? Nothing else comes.
Okay.
So a bride price is paying of bride prices. It's an old tradition, but it is a very valuable one that should still remain. And he made a very strong point there when he made mention of Jesus. He backed it up with his faith, right? So he referred to Christ and how normally he's referred as the bridegroom, and he's married to the church, right? And he made a sacrifice there. He paid. That's like his payment of a bride price. He has to own his bride, to claim his bride. So you understand. So that even gives.
Okay, let's take a
backup.
call. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning.
Yes. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Ezra. I'm calling from North Bank.
Okay, so is paying of bride price still necessary, or is it just an old tradition we are still holding on to?
Ma, please, can you come again?
Is paying of bride price still necessary,
Yes.
or is it just an old tradition that we are still holding on to?
If I may say, I would say let us go to the old price that we are working with, because now women are everywhere and no young guys. You understand? If you can go to our old method, at least we can able to achieve our wives.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right. Thank you very much for calling in and contributing. Now you too can call in to contribute to our conversation on 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868. And make sure you're not calling in as a joke, because we are talking real matters that actually matter. All right. So Clement, now what would you say about this this issue I raised concerning men who just say I paid for you, and then I should be able to, in fact, there are certain situations, I don't know, I cannot call out a specific situation where a man just says that to a woman, but I'm sure you have heard that as well. So there are instances where some men just say, I paid for you and I should be able to do this. And do you also think that bride price, it's like a way of saying, okay, I have access to whatever I want, or I can make you do anything I want? Is it a kind of, should I use it that, should I call it permission? Or is it access granted, undenied, whenever? Or I don't know how to put it, but you get my point, right? Would it also be fair to see bride price as something that makes some men to think in that direction, or is it just their own mentality?
It is something that unfortunately for the wrong minds, it makes them to think like that. And
let's take this call. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I am taking with John Paul, calling from non-layout.
Okay, so John Paul, is paying of bride price still necessary, or is it just an old tradition we are still holding on to?
And to me, I see it as an old tradition that we are still holding on to. And to me, I'm not even in support of that.
Okay.
My reason is being that when you are getting married to somebody in a particular family, you people have become now a family. And then I see no idea or sense. I see no sense in collecting a big amount of money, writing a lot of lists, and give that you are giving somebody else for marriage. Because after that, you are going to meet as a family. If you need an assistance, the person that is coming to marry your daughter is going to send assistance to you. For example, let me set an example for, like, in my family. I think in 2021, my elder sister was getting married, and then after they came and paid everything that they were supposed to pay, she got married in December, and then the next year, by April, our stepbrother died, and then they still had to ask the husband of my elder sister for some assistance to bury him. And then to me, I feel it's not right. Some traditions should not be allowed to still continue in this our present generation.
Okay, all right.
So for me, I see it as a tradition that we are still following, and it's wrong.
Okay, thank you very much.
We should not be doing that.
All right, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Well, we had someone else. He says to him, he sees it as a tradition we are still holding on to, and it's wrong. He specifically said it's wrong and we shouldn't be do that. You also can call in right now to contribute to this conversation on 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868. So Clement, what do you have to say to
if you
what
get
he
married
said?
if you get married to a lady, I mean, you should become a part of her family now. So I mean, you would share some level of responsibilities. I mean, just pure goodwill would even require that you step in for some things like that. I mean, they lose a member of their family. Would you just feel like, now only my daughter I married, that no concern me, and then just sit back? I mean, you'd I mean, courtesy demands that you should even just get up and do what you like, find out your own level of contribution you could do to the family. I mean, you're not just married to their daughter and then you just go away, right? So to me, that still doesn't undermine the value of bride price. It doesn't.
Okay. All right. So I was asking about, those men who would just say, I paid for you, and then I have access, or I can do this, I can do that. In different sense, like, let me use for instance, a lady says, okay, I want to actually work, and then a husband would be like, okay, I actually paid for your head, I paid, so whatever I ask you to do, that's what you're going to do. Do you think people are taking advantage of that? Like, is bride price also representing that, or is it just some people's mentality?
See, bride price cannot, let me say it straight up here, bride price cannot be a contribute to. Like, we cannot blame bride price because somebody paid bride price. That's why he's treating his wife like that. See, like I said it before, the situation had flipped. Okay, whereby
Let's take this one more call before we go. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Martin Sambe.
Okay, so quickly.
From George's quarters.
All right, quickly, is paying of bride price still necessary, or is it just an old tradition?
Yes, let me say that bride price is very, very necessary. Not necessary that you want to get money. That is to say you place value on your daughter. How much can you pay for one's daughter? Somebody who has trained his child to PhD or master's level. What value? But you see, as custom demands, when you come, we the three people will say you don't eat your daughter alone. You have your brothers, you have all these your people.
Okay.
When something is given, everybody, sometimes when you kill a pig, everybody eats to bless your daughter so that when she goes, she'll be fruitful. But if you don't give anything, you just carry the daughter and give that person, will the person value her?
Okay. All right.
There will be no value. You say they just gave her to me, and you can also drive her like that to go. But when you suffer for something, you value it. Yes.
Okay.
So to me, to say 50 naira, or that is not the money that matters, but it's the relationship, the culture, the interaction, all this that comes to become a ceremony of marriage.
All right. Okay.
That is what is important.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for calling in to contribute. We heard him, and he's still of the opinion that bride price is very much necessary because it's not about the money. It's not the money that matters. It's just showing, okay, I value my daughter, and okay, if you're coming to take her and you place this amount of money, he mentioned knowing that it's something that you suffered for, that you pay that much value to. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Francisca, calling from Justin.
Okay, so quickly, is bride price still necessary to you?
Yes, ma'am. It's necessary because paying bride price is kind of like showing appreciation to the family. By saying thank you for the family, yes, for taking care of, or giving out your daughter to a man. It's very, very necessary because if you really want to buy a human, you cannot, because there's no fixed amount of buy human being. But it's a kind of like appreciation. The family, yes, of the lady giving a man for saying, yes, for like telling the man, the family to the woman, thank you, yes, in the respect of man, saying thank you for giving me out your daughter.
All right.
All right. Yes. Because when you didn't say for a woman is somehow even a man even can lose respect for his wife for not paying on her head. You understand? Yes, but when you pay, you have that respect.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much for calling in to contribute, and thank everyone else who called in to contribute. At the end of the day, bride price means different things to different people. For some, it's priceless tradition, and for others, it's a heavy burden. But one thing sure, love and respect should never be for sale. So whether you believe in keeping it or letting it go, don't forget to remember, it's not the price of the bride that builds a home, it's the value you place on each other. And as we leave, remember, coming up next at 1 p.m. is Speedy Kids. So don't go anywhere, stay here with us on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. This has been Saturdays for Weddings, and I've been your host, Mary Hangeior, together with...
And I'm Clement Sampson.
And together we are saying have a wonderful Saturday.
AskingRadio.com app available on Android and iOS devices. Download now.